This week on KUJH News, ICE agents are present in Lawrence. We show you how the community is responding.
The Year of the Horse kicks off at KU.
In Lawrence annual Mardi Gras celebration. Welcome to KUJH News, and thanks for joining us this Thursday. I'm Emma Noble.
And I'm Elena Hesterly. Students across the United States are walking out of their local high schools to protest increased immigration enforcement by ICE officials. KUJH's Ben Nash has the details of what's happening.
Under the Trump administration, deportations, immigrant arrests, and ICE hirings have sharply increased. The administration's efforts have included sending mass federal workers into cities all over the nation.
We're going to protect law enforcement. We're going to protect ICE. They're part of the whole system that is working.
Right here on Iowa 25th, we saw an ICE arrest take place just this past Tuesday. With this increased activity, it has pushed students to have student-led protests and walkouts at our local schools in Lawrence.
This is what democracy looks like.
Hundreds of students walked out of class just a few weeks ago at Lawrence High School, gathering to protest ICE activity and show support for immigrant communities. A similar demonstration took place at Lawrence Free State High School, drawing large crowds of middle and high school students. The protests are not just limited to Lawrence. Students at Shawnee Mission North, Olathe East, and other local Kansas schools have participated in walkouts the past few weeks. Organizers say the demonstrations are meant to raise awareness about immigration enforcement and what they describe as fear in immigrant communities.
This movement is spreading far beyond Kansas, with high school students in cities including Chicago, Minneapolis, and Seattle all staging similar walkouts to the ones that are happening in Lawrence. As federal immigration enforcement expands, so does student activism. Reporting for KUJH News, I'm Ben Nash.
Thank you, Ben. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., Haskell students will protest against ICE on Mass Street. Stay tuned for more developments.
Kansas Attorney General Chris KUJH issued an opinion last week saying a Kansas law granting in-state tuition to undocumented students violates federal law. KUJH's Annika Gustafson has more as to what this opinion exactly means.
A new legal opinion from Kansas Attorney General Chris KUJH is raising questions about who qualifies for in-state tuition at public universities across the state. The opinion argues that a Kansas law allowing certain undocumented students to pay in-state tuition has conflicted with the federal law for over 20 years. Kansas statutes annotated section 76-731A provides certain illegal aliens with in-state tuition at Kansas post-secondary educational institutions. Because the statute provides a tuition benefit not available to U.S. citizens and provides an impermissible public benefit, the statute violates federal law, allowing students who attended Kansas high schools to qualify for in-state rates, regardless of students' immigration status. But in KUJH's opinion letter, he states Kansas state government agencies that are classified by post-secondary educational institutions under Kansas law are bound by Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1621. Payment of tuition at greatly reduced rates is therefore a public benefit forbidden to illegal aliens. Any changes could significantly impact affordability and enrollment.
It's not just about taking away their ability to go to college, but also their ability to live here. This is specifically harmful in undocumented immigrants who have lower incomes on average.
University officials say they are reviewing the opinion. For now, current tuition policies remain in place.
Aiden Baugh is live in studio with your forecast. Now, Aiden, the weather is amazing outside right now, but how will it look throughout the day?
Milena, it will not be looking quite as warm as it has over the last 7 days. Over our next 4 days, we have a cold front making its way across the state as we speak. That cold front going to be dropping our temperatures considerably through Friday, through Monday, down into your lower 40s. Sunday night looking to be the coldest it's going to get through this cold spell at 17 degrees. It has been a very, very dry and windy weekend. Our friends out west know that best. They've had they've had wildfires all around the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. But that cold front is going to be knocking on our door at any time. Winter weather isn't quite done with us yet. Melena, back to you.
Aiden will be back with us later on in the show to give us a full rundown on the rest of the weather for the rest of the week.
Kansas is losing its grasslands. According to the State Department of Agriculture, forest encroachment is swallowing up the prairies at an alarming rate. KUJH's reporter Donovan Bolin spoke with local ranchers about how this landscape shift threatens the state's largest economic powerhouse, the cattle industry.
A new report from the KDA shows a substantial loss of Kansas grassland to encroaching forests. Ranchers say they are stunned by how quickly the trees are taking over and what it means for the future of beef.
I think what's important is we're realizing that we are losing it. It might look slow day to day, but it's much faster than what any of us are giving it credit for. Because of woody encroachment, cost of beef is on top of a lot of people's minds at the moment. The state of Kansas since 1990 has lost the forage for almost 170,000 cows.
But it isn't just about the cattle. Experts warn the loss of prairie creates a domino effect that hits every Kansan's wallet and safety.
Shrubby ground uses twice the amount of water in the water table. And so you're going to see areas surrounding Manhattan, for example, where they're losing their groundwater while also making a bigger fire hazard above the surface. And so this encroachment matters more to just the people who are ranching.
Despite the grim data, there is a path forward. Ranchers say that through prescribed burning and proactive land management, the state can still reclaim the hills.
The good news is that it's kind of one of those things that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So behind us, you can see where we've done some different reclamation projects on some purchase ground. When you get in there and start piling trees, actually doing the reclamation of prairie, it's very expensive. With the education, with the tools, with the right policy decisions to keep prairie intact before encroachment starts, we can do a lot of good for our state.
For many in the Flint Hills, the prairie is more than just dirt and grass. It's an ecosystem as vital as any ocean.
If a coral reef is worth protecting, then why aren't the Flint Hills? We have the exact same complexity of this system. The main difference is we can use ours, we can use livestock, and we actually provide a boon for the state's economy.
Reporting for you from the Flint Hills, Donovan Bolins, KUJH News.
Thanks, Donovan. We'll be following this story in the coming weeks as more information becomes available.
Coming up, a look into this week's festive celebrations.
KU supports community, creativity, Kansas. The University of Kansas provides statewide medical outreach, first responder training, cybersecurity protection, childhood development support, and economic gains amounting to over $7 billion every year. Every day, Kansas Jayhawks serve the world by creating a better future. The world is safer, healthier, stronger because of what KU creates.
Melena, the weather has been near perfection recently, dare I say.
Oh, it really has been, Emma. I can finally switch from hot coffee to iced coffee. But now, Aiden, will I have to switch back to hot coffee with all this cold front?
Melena, that is the big story I really want to hammer home. We have this cold front making its way through our area later tonight. Now, I really want to keep in mind, this model you're looking at behind me, this is not for today. This is tomorrow into Saturday's weather. This is going to tell us what we're going to be looking at over the next 48 hours or so in terms of this winter weather I keep alluding to. Following this cold front making its way through the area tomorrow, we have some snow hanging around near the Kansas-Nebraska state line. Will that track south into our area tonight? It's not looking that likely for that to really be happening, but our best chances of any kind of precipitation or winter weather come later Friday night into Saturday morning, right here along the I-70 corridor from Manhattan to Kansas City. That is where we can see our best chances of that. Freezing drizzle, some light flurries, and a little bit of sleet as you make your way to watch KU basketball on Saturday. Temperatures around our area hovering in those mid to upper 50s, 58, 59 down in Osage City, a little bit warmer here in Olathe at 60 degrees Paola. That's our hot spot of the area at 62. Topeka, a little bit cooler at 52 degrees. But here in Lawrence, we're sitting at a mild 58 degrees. A high today, not much warmer, 59. While it may be sunny all day, those winds, they're going to be a big story today. Aside from that cold front, those winds are going to be increasing out of our west at about 20 miles an hour, gusting as high as 32. That'll definitely blow the hat off your head. That's what my dad always told me. Your temperatures, they're going to get slashed by that cold front, but you know what won't get slashed at all by the cold front? The winds. They're still going to be blowing out of the west northwest at about 20 to 15 miles an hour. When you have such high winds like what we've been experiencing, in the air is just sucked out of all moisture, humidity less than 30%, that's what we like to call elevated fire danger. We're not quite in a red flag warning like more southern portions of the state were the last few days, but it is still very dry outside and those winds are going to be blowing. Do not start any fires in this kind of weather. For your 7-day forecast, your Friday through Monday, temperatures in the 40s, climbing back up into the 60s. Mid next week, right back into the swing of things. Emma?
Thank you, Aiden.
I'm sure all the students are appreciating the weather right now, and I'm hoping that this is the last weekend of cold before spring really sets in.
A fan favorite tradition returned to Lawrence this week as residents gathered downtown to celebrate Mardi Gras. I got a taste of all the action, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. Mardi Gras is just like any other holiday, making its way through the calendar every year. But here in Lawrence, residents take it pretty seriously.
Music makes everything better. And so do costumes.
Costumes, clarinets, and of course king cake are amongst the traditions that have lived in Lawrence Mardi Gras for decades.
I think maybe since the second one. I don't know if I was at the first one or not. But I think I started coming as soon as I found out they existed here.
The parade first began in Lawrence in 2008, gradually becoming one of the town's most popular holiday events. And the participants, they bring in more than just fresh beats.
Mardi Gras is our Super Bowl. It's our busiest day of the year by a long shot. It's huge. We definitely depend on this day. This past summer was a little bit slower, and so we always look forward to Mardi Gras, to where we're able to have a couple weeks of breathing room.
Now they're pretty serious with their Mardi Gras traditions here. The second that I stepped into Terrebonne, I was handed a beignet and was given beads to put around my neck. And of course, everything's delicious.
Always fun. You don't have to be able to play or sing well. You can always just be in the second line. Dancing is good for you. It's good for your health. It's good for your mental health. And it's a great way to see people doing strange things and keeping Lawrence weird.
Wow, Emma, beignets and beads, that is making me really hungry.
Melena, it was honestly one of the best Mardi Gras I've ever been to, if not the best.
Through the arts, KU students are finding new and interesting ways to be involved in the community. KUJH's Zach Newkirk reports.
The Lawrence Arts Center is a fine arts establishment located in the heart of downtown Lawrence at 940 New Hampshire Street, and has been offering many opportunities in the arts to Lawrence residents since it opened in 1975. The Arts Center offers a wide range of semester-long dance, theater, and art classes, free exhibits, and even puts on theatrical productions. These opportunities are heavily appreciated across Lawrence and reach a large number of local families.
Yeah, so we cover over 300 dance families who take classes with us, 800 enrollments every semester.
But one underappreciated aspect of the Arts Center is its connection with KU and its students. Some KU students teach classes at the Arts Center, especially in the dance department.
At the Arts Center, I teach 2 dance classes. I'm teaching both of my classes to the younger kids.
Others get involved with the theatrical productions, and those who do heavily recommend it to other students at KU. The Arts Center welcomes the connection with KU, even reaching out to get students involved and offer them exciting positions.
We have done events where we go to KU campus and work with students, and then we also have had a lot of folks who interned here before they went off to start their career.
A great place for KU students to take and teach classes, the Lawrence Arts Center remains an important creative hub for the Lawrence community. For KUJH News, I'm Zach Newkirk.
Thank you, Zach. It looks like the Arts Center can provide a great off-campus hobby for any arts-driven students.
Colorful performances, traditional foods, and centuries-old customs filled the KU Student Union as the Center for East Asian Studies celebrated the Lunar New Year. KUJH's Sarah Lassick takes us inside all the festivities.
The KU Center for East Asian Studies rang in the Year of the Fire Horse with the vibrant New Year Festival on Tuesday. Lunar New Year is one of the most significant holidays across East Asian cultures, and while each culture celebrates its own way, the meaning behind it remains connected.
It's a welcoming of spring. It's welcoming good luck, prosperity, fortune, and kind of getting away from any of the negativity maybe of the previous year and starting anew. So it's also a time to think about your ancestors and your families. And you celebrate oftentimes as a family, but also in the larger communities. So that idea of building vibrant communities is a very important element of this as well.
The KU community came together to partake in traditional activities from dumpling wrapping to origami to Chinese gambling games. The celebration also featured performances from KU's Japanese Taiko Club and KU Lion Dance, an originally Chinese tradition that began centuries ago.
I think lion dancing symbolizes, different things for different people. However, in general, it's kind of meant to scare away evil spirits in terms of starting a new year and starting fresh. And it's been carried on and passed down through generations. I think it's great.
Beyond the performances and activities, the festival itself represents something greater, a space for students to connect with their heritage and share it with the community.
Just having this community is really special to me because I get to embrace of who I am as a person and just see it being celebrated all around.
For KUJH News, I'm Sarah Lassick.
Thanks, Sarah. To learn more about the Center for East Asian Studies and upcoming events, visit its website at ceas.ku.edu.
And coming up in KUJH Sports, a Winter Olympics update and a new streaming deal signed for the Kansas City Royals.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good. For greatness. Can you hear it?
I'm Emma Hale and welcome back to KUJH Sports, your front row seat to everything Jayhawks and beyond. Breaking news out of ESPN, they just announced that they will start a Women's Sports Sunday broadcast, which is a first of its kind. Their plan as of now is weekly summer primetime showcases, putting the best of women's sports on display. The Seattle Seahawks are being put up for sale just weeks after winning the Super Bowl. ESPN first reported last month the franchise would hit the market following the championship run. Still, the move comes as a surprise after the organization secured its second Lombardi trophy. Kansas women's basketball rolled past Houston 85-68 on Saturday. Now the Jayhawks head to Manhattan after taking care of the Wildcats for the first time around, looking to build momentum as March approaches. On the other side, Kansas men's basketball is back in the win column after taking down Oklahoma State 81-69 just last night. KUJH's Grant Shear was in Stillwater for the game and has more on how the Jayhawks got it done.
Thanks, Emma. That's right. I'm here at Gallagher-Iba Arena here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where the Jayhawks just defeated the Oklahoma State Cowboys 81-69. Now, the story of the game was the Jayhawks' hot start on offense. The main difference maker in the Jayhawks offense was Darren Peterson with a very hot start to the Jayhawks offense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, Flory Badunga and Bryson Tiller dominated the inside of the paint, and for the first time in a while, the Jayhawks controlled the rebounds. Now, a slow end to the first half and a slow start to the second half stopped what could have been a very dominant Hawks performance, but in the end, the Jayhawks get the job done. Up next, the Jayhawks take on Cincinnati on Saturday. For KUJH Sports, I'm Grant Shear.
Thanks, Grant. The Jayhawks face Cincinnati back in Allen Fieldhouse on Saturday to try and keep their momentum going. Well, Olympic action is fully underway, and KUJH's Tyler Brewer has the scoop on everything Team USA.
Thanks, Emma, and wow, these Olympic Games have been incredible so far. Well, that is for everyone except for Ilya Malinin, aka the Quad God, who is the favorite to win gold in figure skating. However, on medal day, the Quad God fell from grace and right onto the ice. Twice, actually, which ended up costing him 72 points and a shot at medaling in these games. It wasn't just Malinin, though, who fell. In fact, 5 of the top 6 skaters fell on the final day, which led many to speculate on the conditions of the ice. One thing that isn't being speculated is the success so far of the men's and women's hockey teams. Starting off on the men's side, things are sweet and there's no end in sight, it seems. The boys in blue have been handling business these games and just took care of Sweden yesterday by a final score of 2-1. The men will be in action again on Friday in a semifinal game against Slovakia. While the men have been getting by, the women have been nothing short of dominant. The Stars and Stripes have let up 1 goal through 6 games, which include a shutout beatdown of that country up north. Sorry, Canada. The women are the heavy favorites to win gold this year, but can they actually do it? Well, they'll be in action right after KUJH ends, so make sure you tune in and support the team. Unfortunately, while the women's hockey team has been sweeping away their competition, the mixed curling team is not. That's because despite beating Sweden in the preliminary rounds, the U.S. fell short against the Swedes for the gold in the mixed curling finals, losing 6-5. However, the United States has won 24 medals in these games, 7 of which have been gold, and while these games have me on cloud 9, I'm all out of time for my run today. So Emma, I gotta ask you real quick, what's your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
I mean, Tyler, it has to be figure skating. It's so incredible to see what those athletes can do. Men's volleyball remains one of the lesser recognized club sports on campus, but that hasn't stopped KU students from building a competitive student-run program. KUJH's reporter Savannah Lawson has more.
KU Men's Volleyball Club is one of over 30 sports clubs at the University of Kansas. Because it is not an official sports team for KU, it is entirely student-led. This means the players not only compete, but also coach the team and manage its finances.
Students have to depend on be leaders in their own club on top of academics and stuff. So that just takes a lot rather than just having a coach and letting them do it for you.
The club has 4 tournaments each semester. In fall, there is an A, B, and C team who compete, whereas in the spring there is only an A and B. Their practices take place on Mondays and Wednesdays at the Ambler Rec Center.
I think it's just a little easier to manage. We only get 1 court here, so it's easier for 2 teams to manage that and just to manage scrimmages. With 3 teams, it started to be a lot.
Men's volleyball programs at the Division I level remain limited. There are currently only 23 NCAA Division I programs in the country.
Men's D1 volleyball is one of the smallest sports, but one of the fastest growing sports. So there's not a lot of programs that have a D1 team yet, but it's growing really fast.
Some of the players have been playing since high school, some started their freshman year of college. However, the players enjoyed the more laid-back environment of a club sport. Managing the club has allowed players to build more than just a competitive team. They've built a community, and they're hopeful the growth of men's volleyball will create more opportunities in the future. For KUJH News, I'm Savannah Lawson.
For more information, visit their Instagram at KU Men's Volleyball. Spring training starts tomorrow, and many fans are still wondering where they'll be able to watch their favorite teams. However, the Royals were able to lock down a deal. KUJH's Gabe Steigers took a deeper dive into what that deal means.
The Kansas City Royals have announced a new way to stream their games for the upcoming season.
There is some instability of the FanDuel Sports Network.
See, last season, fans could purchase a subscription to the FanDuel Sports Network to watch Royals games. But their parent company, Main Street Sports, filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. 6 MLB teams, including the Royals, jumped ship and terminated their contracts.
We'll be going with Major League Baseball. That is, over the years, Major League Baseball has developed a team, an experienced team, to help teams locally launch and basically run in conjunction with them their own sports networks.
You can now stream Royals games directly through MLB for $99 a year.
I think it's great. I think it's nice to kind of have like an actual Royals service going forward.
The league seems to be moving towards keeping all their teams' broadcasting rights in-house, as TV revenue is many teams' highest source of income, according to the Sports Business Journal. And with the new collective bargaining agreement looming, that change could come sooner than later.
The commissioner has been on record of talking about what the ideal situation would be to bring all local rights together, and then you actually go out there with one package.
For fans who choose not to shell out the cash and subscribe to Royals.TV, 10 games will air free on KCTV5, including opening day. For KUJH News, I'm Gabriel Steigers.
Thanks, Gabe. I'm excited to be able to watch the Royals chase after that World Series in 2026. Coming up on KUJH Sports, Aiden Baugh has an updated forecast, and with men's basketball back at home this Saturday, you'll want to know what to expect before heading back to Allen Fieldhouse.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back to KUJH News. Now, Emma, which do you prefer, winter or spring?
Melina, spring's my favorite summer. My hair gets shinier, my skin clears up, and the weather outside makes me actually want to get my work done. And I know we're going through a cold front this weekend, and I'm not happy about it. But Aiden, please tell us, are we going to stay with these cold fronts? Are we going to get into nicer days? What do you have for us?
Emma, for the foreseeable future, for the next 4 days at least, it's going to be cold, but coming later next week, we're right back into the swing of things. For Allen Fieldhouse, Jayhawks taking on Cincinnati Bearcats this Saturday. It's looking to be a chilly one, right around that 40-degree mark, maybe a little bit lower prior to tip-off, but we do have that slight chance of a wintry mix to be falling on Saturday. You're definitely going to be bringing those winter jackets or coats with you to the game, and the wind blowing out of the north at about 10 miles an hour, gusting as high as 20. You're definitely going to be noticing that. You can't really ignore the wind ever here in Kansas. Emma, back to you.
Oh my gosh. Well, Melina, cold Saturday. You going to the basketball game?
No, I'm working actually, but good thing I still kept my winter coat. I almost brought it home.
You're one, that makes one of us. Mine is boxed up.
Uh-oh. Much like checking out a library book, people can check out a shelter dog for the day through the Mass Street Mutts program. KUJH's Adeline Brabel explains how the program works and why it is so beneficial.
For many college students, having a dog on campus just isn't realistic. However, the Lawrence Humane Society allows community members to spend the day with a shelter dog, offering the companionship without the long-term commitment. Sophomore KU student Ella Luoto says participating in the program has become a regular part of her routine.
I do Mass Street Mutts like twice a month, and it's super good to give back to the community, and it really helps a lot of the dogs get exposure who normally wouldn't.
The program is easy to join. Participants pick a time online and staff match them with a dog who needs a break. All supplies are provided, and they can go on a walk, hike, or just relax with the dog. For Ella, seeing the dogs thrive make it worth it.
Dudley is one of my favorite dogs. You can tell that he struggles a lot within the shelter, but as soon as we take him out, he changes completely. He loves all the attention he gets, and he loves meeting new people.
Mass Street Mutts offers a chance to get involved with the shelter in a meaningful way. By pairing dogs with people who enjoy spending time with animals, the program also strengthens the connection between the shelter and local community.
We are lucky we have a lot of dog lovers here in Lawrence, and this is just giving them another way to love our dogs. And the dogs have more advocates out there in the world for them.
Each outing provides the dogs with socialization, exercise, and attention, all of which improve their well-being. And for the community, it's a simple way to make a difference.
With scheduled pickup times Tuesday through Saturday, this gives dogs valuable time outside and a better chance at finding their forever home. For KUJH News, I'm Adeline Rabel.
To learn more or schedule a pickup time, visit the Lawrence Humane Society website at lawrencehumane.org.
Well, that is all we have for you this morning. Check out KUJH on TikTok and Instagram for exclusive content and keep up to date with the latest stories, all at KUJHnews.com. I'm Emma Noble.
And I'm Elena Hesterly. KUJH News will be back next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Have a great rest of your week.